Oh boy, here
So
we
we're
go. Boy, it sure was convenient for Zeppeli to put a call out for his other Hamon friends, like right before we went to go fight Dio, huh? This is
too bad we don't. Too bad we don't have time to reminisce about his death.
this is very. Yeah, this is definitely one of the dumber things about part one. It's cool that we do get to see other people involved with like Hamon practices and help with fighting Dio. That's cool. But ultimately, you could literally have not had them whatsoever and had literally just Zeppeli and Speedwagon fighting the other zombies while Jonathan fought Dio, and nothing would really be lost, like at all.
It comes down to one of two things. Do you think there was any forethought at this point in time, or maybe any earlier,
No.
put into part two?
No,
Do
not
you
at all.
think? Do you think there was any sort of? Do you think Straizo actually turning into the vampire was remotely planned
Nope.
out, or just a happy accident that he had that character that he could do that with?
Complete happy accident, and I can tell you that for a fact. Partly because of the, well, if you look at Bao was already kind of experimental by itself as the most prior work from Araki at the time, and it was not like I haven't read it myself, but looking at it, I don't believe it was structured to actually continue going forward, especially since Bao himself kind of looks a lot like Star Platinum already. So no, I don't really believe this was slated to actually get a continuation. Probably because you look at what happened between Jonathan and Dio. It's pretty fucking conclusive. Dio's head going down with it wrapped in Jonathan's arms to the bottom of the ocean in an exploding ship. Yeah, that's pretty decisive, dude. It does not look like it was slated to have a sequel whatsoever. At least that's the way I look at it, personally speaking.
I don't mean leading into Stardust Crusaders. I mean leading specifically into Battle Tendency.
Yeah, that is what I mean.
All right. So
Also,
then,
I
yes,
don't even
these
think it was
characters.
mentioned that Erina was pregnant at the end of this either.
I think it is in like the very last scene where it's like she says that on the ship or something, or she says that in the coffin.
Yeah.
But so it comes down to whether or not you think they're planned, or these characters were designed with a purpose, or if you think they were just complete waste of time that had no thought going into them. Because after all, Dyer here just dies in 10 minutes anyway.
By the way, I would like to talk about this really fucking dumb like martial arts ability, but it's still very funny. This is some like weird Baki the Grappler shit. Just coming in with a really slow drop kick, like I don't think you control your approach with gravity and all, but all right, my dude. And then just completely disarming them. That's some wacky shit, but I appreciate dumb stuff like this. That's I'm gonna say that's some early Dragon Ball stuff.
You know, the unfortunate thing is that if Jonathan was able to block this on the first attack, you could pretty much tell immediately that Dyer was going to be a jobber.
Yeah, really, and that's unfortunate, but yeah.
When did he get a chance to mention you? You were training in Tibet or wherever Tom Petty is from. How exactly did you get a letter all the way over there in the 1800s from England?
And then how they managed to hightail across that so quickly. Damn. I don't know if they were still a thing or not, but like I'm pretty sure they would have had to cross like the Ottoman Empire at that point in time, and those bastards were pretty gridlocky of the Middle East during that time period.
Istanbul, not Constantinople.
Yep. This is still very funny though. For what it's worth, I do actually like Straizo's design. He's got a really sharp look to him.
Tom Petty's face is bugging out.
Yeah, Tom Petty's like he's an actual skeleton of a man, and it's so funny because he actually looks pretty decent in the anime run for part one.
Yeah. See, it makes it even funnier that Straits ends up becoming the vampire because he does literally nothing here.
Yeah, I think he, even in the anime and in this game, he distracts some like zombies, and that's literally it. It does actually give him a good amount of character in part 2. Not much, but he was like, he couldn't grasp the idea of, he didn't want it to actually be aging. That's a common existential crisis with a lot of people. I understand that. So he decided to take the extreme measure to become a vampire, just to be temporarily young again. So that actually does add a lot to his character. Part 2 inadvertently made straight to a sort of character, and I appreciate that.
And that was an accident, by your metrics.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey man, when you gotta work with it, what you have sometimes. I mean, to be fair, like it also does kind of look for like that when you go from a series where you enter, there they are, where you go from zombies or where you go from vampires to vampire gods. It's a bit of a jump.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ, dude, look at Dio's bicep right there. Holy shit.
That is just stone.
That is bigger than his head. It's bigger than probably like a good portion of the chair. Jesus Christ. I understand this perspective. Holy mother of fuck.
It's bigger than his ass.
Yeah, it's bigger. Oh my god. If you look at his perspective, actually, his bicep on his left arm right there is actually bigger than his waist. Dude, that's nuts.
I want to put most of this up to the game, actually.
Yeah. Dio, I'm not the type to force a friendship. Use your free will. Well, he is a decent villain at this point in time. Still can't deny that. And this
That's the way of putting it.
Jesus, what? This is the dumbest thing.
I don't even remember this one.
Doobie the Phantom.
Yeah, that's a music name.
Yeah. I think that song comes on at my work sometimes on the radio. It's ridiculous.
Oh no. You have to listen to Muzak.
Luckily I have my own headphones, so it's not that big a deal. But still. Yeah, anyway, so this is the funniest thing because this character right here, like, he's the only one that we've seen introduced with like a hood and a mask like this. And we could only assume at a glance, like, yeah, he must be really fucked up. He must have, like, half his head must be missing. It's gotta be wild underneath there. And then eventually you do a mask him, it's like, oh, he's just a dude with snakes coming out of his head. Whatever, okay. I was expecting way worse after we got those fucking chimeras on the chair.
It's hardly the freakiest thing we've seen so far.
And it's gonna get way worse, or no, it's gonna go way deeper into that pool there, Rocky. Like, you've already had a horse decapitated and shoved onto a man. Eh.
I think it was Jack the Ripper was actually hiding inside the horse.
Every time I look at this text, I think he's yelling horny, but he's not, and it just bothers me more that it looks like he should be yelling horny. Damn it, game. Why must you broach my expectations like this?
I'm sorry, I look at this and all I get is a bonsai, bonsai, Aizen-sama bonsai.
You know, I totally get that one too. So this dude, unfortunately, Doobie
This is the fucking snakes in a can toy.
God, you're right. So this fight is a little bit of a bitch. Doobie can actually poison you with the snakes that come out of his head. I think the poison either like halts your red health regeneration or halts your Hamon growth. I think I missed this one. Oh no, I got you. Yay. It's not the worst thing ever, but it is interesting. You do have some like status afflictions you can occasionally get hit by. I think there's more. Well, I guess you can qualify being frozen as one. Yeah. It's just kind of fun.
Yo, I saw a bird in there. Fucking pet shop.
Oh yeah, the fucking like weird owl thing that was on top of Dio. I mean, God, can you imagine?
The owl that had the head of a cat.
Yeah. Man, literally every time I think of Pet Shop, I just think of how fucking busted Pet Shop is in the Part 3 fighting game, Heritage of the Future.
Heritage for the Future.
Yeah.
That one was made by Capcom.
For the record, the thought does cross my mind occasionally to try Let's Play that game, but I realize also if I wanted to not make a complete fool of myself, I'd have to spend like a month learning the game, and that would be an endeavor and a half right there. But I guess that would be like the best way to get some perspective on part 2. I guess a little bit of part.
Oh wait,
or no, actually no, part 3. But there was a little bit of part 2 in there because young Joseph is playable.
I was gonna say you've already got the Dreamcast emulator set up. And it's like, oh wait, no, you have the PS3 emulator set up if you can find that ISO.
Oh, not even actually. There's a good
HD
competitive community going on for the fighting game as a whole, anyway, because through Fightcade, people have actually been emulating that game for a while now through this original arcade run. That said, though, I don't know if the arcade version does have the actual story mode, so but it'd be kind of fun to look into.
It's an arcade version. I don't think it would. Besides, you want to get the best graphical fidelity for YouTube.
Yeah, true. I mean, 5K from what I've seen is already pretty fucking good, but it would be more of a matter of actually getting the story. That's the big trick. I'll look into that probably tomorrow when I'm at work, maybe.
Speaking of arcade games that got delisted from PSN and Xbox Live like a year into their being uploaded,
Darkstalkers?
I need to find the Simpsons arcade game ISO for PS3.
Yeah.
There was a nice little renaissance in 2012 of old arcade and also fighting games being put up on PSN and Xbox Live and then getting taken down like 2 years later. There's those two, and there's also Marvel 2.
If memory serves, I think also the DLC for Ultimate Marvel got taken down as well.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh wait, was it either Ultimate Marvel or regular Marvel? The one that had Jill Valentine as DLC. I think. Wait, Jill I don't think it was ever released properly in Ultimate Marvel. I could be wrong though.
Really?
I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but I want to say that her and Shio Korath weren't actually released in Ultimate because I don't remember that being the case off the top of my head. Now I'll look into it later.
Some characters just didn't make the cut, or didn't make the.
She was originally DLC in the vanilla Marvel 3, but I don't know if she actually got brought on with all the other characters in Ultimate. These Fallout-looking motherfuckers. Now this is what I was kind of expecting under Doobie's hood, honestly.
That blue one is fucking Xenomorph.
That blue one is a straight up Xenomorph. Dude, the fucking like purple one on the left there is just Nemesis. God damn. Or like a liquor combined with Nemesis.
And one of them is just wearing a fucking gas mask, like fucking Cyrax.
I love how fucking Araki inadvertently made some pretty horrifying designs, even though it looked like he was building up Doobie's design to be pretty creepy. Oops. I love when you accidentally outdo yourself.
Yeah, no, Alien was definitely before 87.
Yeah.
Thunder Cross. Oh, okay, it's fucking Dyer's Time to Die.
Yeah, we are actually gonna use straights though. That's actually more of a mandated one. But I never actually used Tom Petty, nor have I actually used
Dyer.
Dyer, yeah. I'll probably try it eventually. I'm still thinking about actually cheating the game a little bit and just unlocking Dio mode to fuck around with them for a little bit. I'm definitely gonna try that at some point in time.
I think that would be more engaging as a stream than as a pre-recorded setup.
Possibly. So it sounds like these guys were like death row inmates or something, or were going to be sentenced to death and Dio saved them or something. That's what I'm gathering from this dialogue.
That sounds like something he would do.
Yeah. And they'll have broadswords. It's hilarious. Oh, no, some of them have broadswords. Some of them are different. This mission is really easy. You just got to take care of 10 of them. Their attack patterns are relatively similar to what we've already gotten before, but some of them do have sliding attacks that can blindside you a lot. Like that guy right there.
Well, the good news is their health goes down real quick.
Oh god, yeah. Especially level 3 charge on Zoom Punch. Holy shit.
Do you actually gain stats level by level, or is everything already predetermined stage by stage?
Everything's predetermined stage by stage. The buffs and levels you're seeing is what I'm doing with my the poses off of my combo strings. It costs me a little bit of meter, but they do also give me temporary buffs to my stats. It's really cool.
Gotcha.
And you can choose what you want to buff as well out of like your strings. It's really cool.
Right, you were mentioning that. Yeah, that guy's spinning.
Yup.
Got swords and claws, and the idea is pretty neat. Also, they're all warty and gross.
Yeah, like I said, just straight up Fallout enemies. I love how Araki just inadvertently made some terrifying designs when he was going for one that had build up to it.
Okay, that's pretty good. Seeing the clear on an almost regular looking punch.
Yeah. Anyway, haven't really talked about it, but yeah, no, Jonathan is now actually right at Dio's palace after fighting literally legions, and sometimes it feels like it takes like an actual fortnight to get through. Jesus Christ.
Don't say that right now.
Hey, I'm the one who should be feeling bad.
Do you want to talk about that?
No.
I don't think you're gonna have it. You're not gonna have an avenue to talk about that and anything else relevant for a while.
That's not true. I'll get to talk about when we get to Generations, or when I get to Generations, I guess. 20 years. It feels like they'd be training way longer than 20 years. Anyway, so yeah, Dyer is like 110% a fucking Fist of the North Star character. Like, the no eyebrows, this look, yeah, this is 1% a character from that series. I keep talking about that show. I'll have to actually sit down and watch it at some point in time, but I've always never had like a good avenue to do so.
It's because there's like 12 different versions of it.
Yup.
Yeah, it's because he looks like one of the versions of fucking Rao.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I can definitely get a feeling for that, yeah. So by the way, that weird after imaging you saw in Dyer, I don't know if it's supposed to look like that because I've never played the original hardware version, but yeah, it looks very fucking funny.
It does it a few times. I think that's just a move he has.
I mean, I know that he does have an after image move, I just don't know if it's supposed to look like that solid. Sleep-inducing moves. Yeah, that's a pretty good way of putting it, actually.
I mean, you can see how slow it's coming.
Yep. Just floating in the air. So the way Jonathan beat his attack was by headbutting Dyer. The way Dio beats him, yeah, just frees his entire body because of physical contact, lol.
Doesn't even give him the fucking chance to make contact.
And literally over the course of like 2 days, Dio has also gotten exponentially better to freezing technique, I guess. It's perfect in all aspects, yeah, if you're not a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, he mastered all of his vampire abilities. No foes ever. Jonathan did.
And it looks very silly.
Futile?
He turned blue. He takes away heat and freezes them. I think that's the least of Dyer's worries right now. I.e., he has no functioning body left, and no amount of Speedwagon abdominals are going to unfreeze him. Which I assume not.
Nah,
that'd be a funny way of interpreting it, though.
You just gotta do what they did to Robin. Just dump her in the shower with the hot water running. Dude, I wouldn't move if I were you. You're liable to fucking snap your own neck off.
So unfortunately, this part of the game is where things go a little long-winded because obviously we gotta set everything up, and this is where the replication of the adaptation comes full circle. But this is still very funny.